Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the brunch on Kerrfatou Live. I am Lamin Cham, back with your weekly look at current affairs here in the Gambia in the last 7 days. This week, we will take a look at the Gambia's preparations for another appearance in the Africa Cup of Nations. That's just under a month away in the Ivory Coast. I will be joined by the Honorable Minister of Sports, who is also the chairman of the National Coordinating Committee, which is overseeing the Gambia's participation in this second edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. He will be accompanied by Musa Sise, who is president of the Gambia Sports Journalists Association, representing the media in that National Coordination Committee. So if you are a football fan and you want to know how the Gambia is preparing, what is available, what is not available, what is being planned, so this is the place to be in the next 1.5 hours or so. You can also comment if you can, if you're near a computer or your mobile. Chances are that I may see a few comments that I will read to the Minister of Youth and Sports and Mr. Sise. But before that, though, we're going to talk politics, because I have in the studio the leader of the People's Progressive Party, that is the PPP, the ruling party in the First Republic, actually the party that took us to independence, under the founding leader Alhaji Sedauda Kebba Jallow of blessed memory. The PPP has come a long way now, and as you of course may be aware, in 2018 it had a Congress which elected Papa Njai, Mamadou Papa Njai, if you like, as leader. He's been appointed as our High Commissioner in Nigeria, and in his absence, Kebba Jallow, himself a veteran PPP, of course, a member who was chairman of the Kerrfatou Municipal Council at the time of the 1994 coup, is now at the helm of the party. The party, of course, stayed with the governing National People's Party in the presidential elections, but at some point, of course, especially in the local government elections, the party felt that it should have to chart its own way following disagreements as to whether the party can contest or where it cannot contest. Mr. Jallow has been away, I guess. He's been in the United States, where he was in exile and had family and connections now that he most frequently go to, I guess, within the course of the year, each year. That is, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, in your absence, like you said, the politicians, so much water has passed under the bridge. There have been legislations, there have been court cases, there have been proclamations, there have been political moves in your absence. So, of course, we would like to take this 1 hour to have your perspective on those aspects. And first of all, let's go to the Parliament. This Parliament was very interesting in the last couple of months, especially during the extraordinary session. We had the Victims Reparation Bill, which is now passed, and it is going to establish what they call Victims Compensation Commission. That will be responsible now for paying reparations to victims, as well as identifying victims who might not be covered by the TRRC. Okay, and also, of course, the TRRC recommendations, the white paper, implementation of the white paper also came up, and the government were very forthright, and they were committed to implementing the TRRC recommendations. There was also the controversial ex-president's bill. You must have heard about it. Too much controversy, but it eventually got passed. That is going to provide a lot of goodies for people who have served as president. Many people criticized the government. For some people said it is, a bill tailor-made to suit President Adama Barrow. But then the Minister of Justice had said, no, it is for any president that might come. So it could be for anybody, not just Adama Barrow. Many people wondered, though, whether former President Yahya Jammeh could benefit from it. And the minister said, well, first of all, the former president had to face the law first. And after that, then one can then consider whether or not he is going to benefit from that. So all those are heated debates. Plus the Commission of Inquiry's amendment bill, which now suggests that the President of the Republic now has powers to grant pardon to people who might have been banned by commissions of inquiries. Many people said, well, now the President needed those powers to compensate people he cannot appoint. Others said he wants to use it to get to people who are also on the other side and might have been affected by a commission of inquiry. So critics said, again, it is the President that has been empowered with that law too. So all those things happen. And most importantly, a court has declared that the Akotobamfo Commission of Inquiry in 1996 or 95, which seized properties from PPP itself as a party, as well as its officials, that commission, a court has now said that commission was illegal because its very formation was illegal, given the fact that the person who had the commission did not meet the criteria to be chairman of such a commission, which make the commission's findings null and void. Well, it was Honorable MC Cham, former Minister of Finance and senior member of the PPP, who took the matter to court, and he won. And by implications, of course, all government, former government ministers who suffered same fate, as well as the party, are now up in arms and said, well, there we go. There is now justification for all our assets to be returned. We will talk about that because you may have a personal connection to that. Yes. All this I want us to discuss before we move on to sports. But don't forget, like I tell you, AFCON 2023 Gambia is the next part of the program. Mr. Jallow, welcome to the brunch.
Thank you so much, Lamin. And once again, I express my gratefulness for being here to express my views and the views of the party to the general public.
Okay.
But again, I take this opportunity to thank you personally.
Thank you
for according us the opportunity to be around, particularly myself, to express our view on the issues affecting the country. It was true that I left the country for a month to go to US. But as politicians, every minute I was on my phone checking for news, especially Kerrfatou, to see what's happening. And I've been following the events that are occurring in the country. And sometimes my daughter would say, Daddy, you are always on the phone. I said, you know what, I'm checking what is back home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, but as you said, there were so many things that went on the last couple of months in the country. And this is how democracy works. You don't have to own one thing. One party, one government doesn't have to own it. It's especially now that we have this, the legislature is independent, the judiciary and the executive. They're all doing their work accordingly. When I follow the live debates on Parliament, I feel very, very happy that some of the turn issues have been addressed serious concern. Unfortunately or fortunately, there was no fist fighting like
in other parliaments.
Other parliaments. And then I give credit to the Speaker and all of them for being so patient to deliver on the items that were before them. Especially issues that really affected the country and the population.
Absolutely.
I give credit to all of them for coming out with, despite the fact that you don't get what you want, but then it's gone. And then, and again, I have to thank my PPP committee in the United States, the Usman Marike Fall, the chairperson, and Kebba Jallow, and the rest of the team. We had a successful meeting in America.
Okay.
Yeah, and it went very well. It was extremely very well. They were very happy that the way we conducted ourselves under difficult conditions, the party is moving slowly but surely to being a real functioning party. And I have to thank them for giving me their time and whatever they had for the party. I thank them, and I want to express this thing to Kebba and the team and Usman for the love they have for the party and the country. And that was it. And I felt that they want me to stay longer. I said, you know what, it's getting cold in America. Let me go back to the warm weather.
Good.
Yeah.
So about the party, before we go into these deliberations, now that you went your own way in the local government elections, have that left a shower test in your relationship with the NPP? Is it still cordial?
No, we are doing well with the NPP, especially with the president. We have no issues affecting our relationship as person to person, as party to party. We opted, in fact, they opted to leave us out, and it was good for us. Now we are on our own feet. If we move on our own. Politics, you don't say no.
Yeah.
There's always, you leave an opening. Who knows what is going to happen tomorrow or the day after?
Well, you said they left you to go on your own, but they said you were a little bit impatient. With them. You, in principle, you could not agree on.
No, we could not agree on certain issues. The point is that if you leave a party not to contest elections, you are killing the party.
Okay.
And even whereas there is any other coalition, it's not going to be like it was before.
Yes.
PPP will contest elections.
Yes.
No matter what, we will contest elections. So if the president or other parties want to engage us, we are open.
Okay.
But we have to leave room open for us to exist as a party. If we don't contest election, naturally there is something missing.
Exactly.
So this is what we are trying to fill the gap. The parliamentary, the local councils, and even presidential, we have to fill a gap.
Yeah.
The gap is if you don't, you don't necessarily exist as a party.
Okay.
So this is the issue that we will discuss if we sit again.
Yeah.
If not, we are moving on our own. So we don't mind that at all.
So in principle, you don't have personal or major problems with the NPP.
No. Look,
but you've always said they need to understand.
They need to understand
that you need to exist as a party.
As a party, exactly. That is the problem. They need to understand that we have to exist as a party.
Yeah.
If not, they will kill us, and people would not die like that under my watch.
Absolutely.
Maybe if I leave the party, next I'm voted out. But then under my watch, we will have to exist as a party, contest as a party, whether solo or as a coalition.
Okay. There were rumors on the grapevines that after all, the PPP may have a reflection, and a desire to take a path that will promote, let's say, reunification, so to speak, of all the people who were at the time the Bakari Dabo side, who went on to form a party called Gambia for All Party. There were rumors in the grapevines that you probably might be walking towards that kind of direction. Is there any truth to this rumor?
That is true. Actually, at the Congress, the last Congress, it was discussed that the Congress gave us the mandate to go after anyone who was PPP or who want to join PPP, whether as a party or as an individual, for us to come back together as one party. That gave us the mandate to go after parties like GFA to come and join. It's their party. There's nothing like you can say, I'm angry, I'm going. No. Let them come back. I started talking to them. We have started talking to them. We have formed committees. They are discussing. I spoke to Bakari as one-to-one.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going on. It will take the format. It will take. It's not out yet.
Yeah.
But I believe in my heart of hearts that we will be one party, inshallah. Yeah.
Okay. Is it going to be the PPP? I'm sure all of you will be keen to maintain whatever union, eventually emerge from your talks. Both of you will be keen to maintain the PPP.
Exactly.
That's what that really serves as the umbrella.
That is the idea, and that's what is we are talking about. There's no like PPP, GFA coalition. No.
Okay.
It's going to be one party. We will all have to come together and be one PPP. And not even that. There are many people who left the PPP, other parties who left, and we will draw them back to the PPP, and we may even parties like NCP. NCP is a brand of PPP.
NCP was, but then of course NPP was your strongest opposition.
Exactly.
I don't know whether you can still do things together.
Yeah, don't forget, it was Sirif Diba and Jawara who formed the PPP.
Yeah, definitely.
So, these are the strong pillars. I remember Sirif Diba was almost like the president.
Yes.
Jawara
on the Jawara.
On the Jawara.
Yeah.
So if there was division at that time, now things have changed. Now, there's no reason why we cannot come together as one party. And we take over the country, form the government.
Okay.
So we will pursue that, and then other parties who are interested.
You are PPP people even in the UDP.
Yeah, exactly.
Plenty of them,
Yeah.
perhaps.
In fact, UDP was formed by NCP and PPP and
Yes.
GP
The
Hassan Musa,
GPDP of Hassan Musa.
exactly at
Yeah.
the time. So the way we are going,
GPP was called, yeah.
GPP,
GPP,
yeah,
yeah.
GPP, exactly.
Yeah.
GPP, NCP, PPP.
Yeah.
These were the parties that formed the UDP.
UDP.
Actually, I remember I was in America. I was the head of the committee there in America. We formed the UDP.
Ah.
I spent my money and the committees in America. I remember Yamasanya, Seukonate, Usman Jai,
Yeah.
many of us,
Yes.
Esali, my
Yeah.
wife, and
Yeah,
others.
Esali, yeah.
Exactly. We contributed a lot to UDP. Money financially. We gave money to the late Omar Khan.
Omar Khan, yeah.
Omar Khan played a very key role
Yeah,
for the UDP.
Yeah.
And the monies were sent to the party.
Yeah.
And we only asked us to forget about our party,
and
join and form this new party.
Yeah.
So that we can get rid
exactly.
yeah.
Good. So
That's
you
what
you,
became
you will still with a united PPP. You might be able to get some people back from.
Yeah,
the PPP.
yeah. That's what we believe. This next coming election is going to be very interesting.
Why do you say it so?
Yeah, because the playing field is getting level. Unfortunately, finances is a problem for all the parties.
Okay.
But you cannot say I'm an incumbent, so I'm going to win. It's not guaranteed Barrow may win elections. It's not guaranteed. If he contests.
Well, his people in the NPP have already begun to say.
Yeah. But I would say.
Though many people believe he will not contest.
Yeah, I would say the same if I was in this. I would say I'm going to win.
Yes.
Actually, to be honest with you, PPP played a very key role.
Yeah.
That's why I still believe nobody can change that. The PPP believe that President Barrow is our president. The role the PPP played, we will never diminish our role, our positions. We played a key role to making sure that President Barrow was elected, and we still maintain that. And that's why we support him, his programs and policies. But doesn't mean that we will not oppose his failures. No, we will support his successes.
Yes.
And then oppose his failures.
Yeah.
That's how it is. We governed before.
Yeah.
PPP governed for 30 good years.
Absolutely.
We are not like other parties who will only pinpoint failure.
Well, sometimes he's a guy who will criticize softly.
Yeah.
He's not too critical with the PPP, but sometimes he will Dordala and said, oh, well, some people were here for 30 years, others 20. They have not been able to achieve this. So,
Sometimes
he will say that.
Sometimes when I listen to President Barrow speak about this road concern, nobody has done that.
Yes, he said, Ahmad Ba said they expected Barrow to do something that has not been achieved in 50 years. So sometimes they don't like PPP.
When I hear that, I just laugh. I said, what is Tunis? They are Tunis. They don't know. If you build a road between Jabakunda and somewhere, don't forget the road from Banjul to Basse. Jawara built it.
Yeah, from scratch.
From scratch. With all those bridges and hills. He conquered it.
Yeah.
We should start from that.
Yeah.
Before we built a 3 kilometer road or 5 kilometer road, start from
now
that.
they are talking about hundreds.
Don't mind that. You start somewhere and then you move on. They are tuners. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Now let's go to Parliament. During your absence, like the bills I have outlined, let's start with the controversial former president's bill, because people said, it may also have linkages with the political career of President Adam Barrow, and in which case, of course, politicians and political groups and citizens alike took a lot of interest in it when it was introduced, and the contents which suggested now that presidents who should be paid, the same salary as former as sitting president. Of course, this was reduced to 80%, and then the motor cars that should come and be changed every 5 years. The house workers, the holiday package every year for the presidents, and all sort of goodies. People who are up in arms said that is too much for somebody who actually we paid for maybe 5 years minimum, who didn't even need his money, and then we come back paying him, and even the possibility of his or her spouse later. Too much of controversy, but well, fortunately or unfortunately, it got passed. It's now law.
Yeah,
What do you make of it?
I think Lamin, what happened is that the legislators or the drafters of the bill don't mind too much about the economy.
Okay.
The country is facing serious economic crisis, honestly. The production base of the country is very minimal. Now, where do we get all this money to pay? If you look at the remuneration of the parliament, you want to add the president and then the ex-president.
Ex-president.
Right now, if Barrow retires next year, for example, he's still very young.
Yes, he's still young.
He can live for the next
young.
30 to 40 years.
Relatively young.
Exactly.
With
So
health and strength.
we will continue paying him, maybe plus another 4 or 5 presidents. Where is that money coming from? So they don't, I mean, sometimes we need to consider our base, where are we getting the money from? It's not the groundnut we're talking about. It's not the fisheries. Where are we getting the money from? The production base of the country, we need to be able to provide a base where we will get the money. Look at the foreign exchange now.
Yeah.
The CFA is untouchable.
I have
the dollar is like gone.
Just changed the pound for $8.
Exactly. No.
$8 a pound.
Exactly. Now that means the dollar has been suppressed.
$80. I said, did I say $8? $80
exactly. That means the dollar has been suppressed, and that is the recipe for disaster for the people. Because if you want to go to the shop, you buy one pot meal, you're talking about $30, $40.
Yeah, absolutely.
How can the ordinary person get that? Yeah. They need to concentrate on saving the money and taking care of the economy. So through especially when you spend, is it necessary to spend on the president 80% of the
salary of a city president or an ex-president?
Is it necessary for what?
Give him cash.
The president president now, everything almost free to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
For 10 good years, everything, almost.
Yeah.
So,
that's money he doesn't need. Like you and I have to buy rice.
Exactly.
Have to buy, do whatever thing when we get sick.
And
for
then,
him, we pay all that.
Yeah, and we pay from our pockets. But then you continue paying that for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You spend for another 10 years, another president comes in again.
Could be more. It could be 20 years or more.
Exactly.
Like you said, with health and strength, inshallah, with God's grace, he can live for another 40, 50 years.
No, exactly. President Barrow is too young, still very young, very active, very strong. He can live for the next 40 years. He's 50 now.
Maybe 50 or 60.
50 years, exactly.
I hope so another 100.
So if we change the bill for 2 terms, can you imagine every 10 years we have a new president?
Yes.
A younger president.
Yes, that's true.
You know, that should be put into consideration. Every 10 years, a younger president will come in.
So many people think there were 2 schools of thoughts. Many people, others said, look, I hope he's not trying to make a soft cushion for Yahya Jammeh. Others said, no, this is not Yahya Jammeh. Yahya Jammeh could be just a collateral benefit or damage, whatever you like it. But this is tailor-made for President Barrow. Given the fact that it came with a certificate of audience.
Yeah.
And the civic society,
yes.
The civic society said they were not consulted on this particular bill, like others.
That certificate of audience.
Unlike others.
Exactly.
But this one, they were not consulted at all about this bill. So why the urgency and why the secrecy and not sharing with the civic society? Many people want to believe that President Barrow has a vested interest in this bill, and which of course translates to the fact that is he not preparing to pack up in 2026?
Well, skeptics like me and others will think so. Maybe this is a tailor-made for him. But to be honest with you, we don't know what is coming tomorrow. But the President Barrow I know today, he is the best for the country at this moment in time. The reason I say that is that we are enjoying relative peace compared to the sub-region, even Senegal. There's the peace that we enjoy in this country and the neighboring countries. I was in America when I heard about something in Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah, they said an attempted coup.
Sierra Leone and so on.
An attempted coup, they now say.
So we are enjoying what is not value, what you cannot value. Peace, you cannot say is 100,000 or 5,000.
Or 1 million.
We are enjoying that. So for President, that alone for me, I am happy to support him because the relative peace we are enjoying. The Gambian and the President, I give him credit because he's the head. If things go bad, we'll say the President. If it is good, let's still give him the credit.
Okay.
I give him. But then, I don't know what he's thinking. If he wants to leave,
people would have taken people like you, experienced politicians. People would have said, okay, let's rely on you people's instincts to calculate his movements. In your impression, did you see President Barrow somebody who is preparing to go?
Yes.
You have a feeling like that?
Yes.
Well, his people,
whether it's going to happen or not, but
you think that he's preparing to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, his people said no, that's not the case.
Yeah, that's what
he's
what
going to be
happened.
our candidate.
That's what happened. Look at the President Jawara.
Yes.
The same thing happened. To be honest with you, he wanted to leave, but then the people around him were crying and falling down and saying, "No, don't go." That's the same thing that's going to happen to President Barrow. If he wants to go, the Barrow I know is not greedy. He would not mind going tomorrow if the time comes. But look at the people around, those who are interested, who get interest from him.
Who are interested in him clinging on to power.
Exactly.
And they get their bread.
Will not let him go.
So at the end of it, it has to be his own personal strong will
to say, yes, I'm going, or no, I'm not going.
Yeah.
He already has a cushion. If President Barrow leaves today, for example, in the next term, he's going to enjoy two. The office of the presidency, he will enjoy it for the rest of his life. He is going to be the best Gambian leader, even in the country.
Yeah, he would have set an example.
Like Macky Sall. Macky Sall may be different, but then President Barrow...
I think if he leaves in 2026, his case will be more glorified than Macky Sall.
And that is more
because
something...
Macky Sall, one reason or the other, was compelled to leave.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, although even though he argued that he had a right to go, but even he himself contradicted himself many times.
Exactly.
Eventually, he realized that he could not go.
Yeah.
But then it was not without pressure also.
No, he had
pressure. So if Barrow leaves, it would be at his own will.
Exactly.
He could have argued with people, no, I will go for another time, no, I will go for, I still have another time. But if he leaves in 2026, I mean, yes, his case would be more glorifying than Macky Sall.
Yeah. Barrow is still liked by the people. And if he contests election with other people, I wouldn't want to name names.
With Lawyer Dabo. Maybe that's what has been said. He's the biggest. So you want to say if he contests with Lawyer Dabo?
Oh yes. He's gonna beat Lawyer.
Okay.
But then,
what about if Lawyer Dabo change? Because there are rumors that people are queuing up to replace him.
That's another problem. That's another problem.
Oh, that's another problem. Okay.
No, that's a problem coming up. But hopefully, Allah will guide the country through the rough times and good times. And I believe also pray that Allah gives President Barrow the good heart and the mind to think the best for himself, his family, and the country.
So in other words, every President Barrow has ticked every box except the management of the economy and the cost of living prices. That's your concern.
My concern, to be very honest with you, I have to say it publicly. I'm very concerned with the economy of the country. I give him credit for building roads. America developed because of the Eisenhower roads,
road
infrastructure. And I give credit to President Barrow to that. He can continue doing that for combos, for the urban area. But then the leftover, when we are hungry, feed yourself first. And then the leftover can be roads, construction, or whatever.
I see.
Right now, I think President Barrow should concentrate more. Let him empower the Minister of Agriculture. For that we can have food self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
When we are fed, when we are really fed, we can export food. Then the leftover can be on roads and other things. But right now, to be honest with you, even the produce we produce in this country is more expensive than the ones we import.
Yes.
That means not sufficient. Look at the
ironic.
When you go to the market now,
you look for Findi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those ones are more expensive than the rice we import. I think there's a lot. I remember one time there was a meeting somewhere. Sadora said Gambians should start to change their food.
Diversify.
Exactly.
Food, yes.
Rice. He said no. He said there's cassava, there's rice, Findi, there's all this.
That's true.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
Gambians should start to do that.
Yeah.
But then look at the Jahal Pachar thing. Jawara started that. Now it's left almost abandoned.
Well, they said the rot started on the Jawara. That's what your critics
No.
said.
They would say that. Jawara, at that time, we all believed, we all know that the Gambia enjoyed. We never had any how we call it,
Total dependence on
on
imported
import.
rice?
No. The whole provinces produce their own food. Sometimes they supply the urban area.
Maybe there weren't many people at the time too.
No, but the thing is, what happened is that they neglected it. They neglected this. But then I don't blame Barrow alone.
Yeah.
I started from Yaya.
Yeah.
I like his slogan, grow what you eat
Yes.
and eat what you grow.
No,
I like Yaya's slogan.
And the vision period. Yame had all the plans.
I like Yaya's vision,
all the good things from the textbook.
Yeah, but then look at
But
the
then how
implementation.
yeah.
But yes, when he turned it upside down, grow what you eat what people grow for him. people go to the farm for him, not for themselves. So that's where the people problem started. From 19.
So he made everybody work for him.
For him.
Instead of for the country.
For the country. Poverty started from that level.
And he locked up all the agricultural experts.
Exactly.
He said they are either corrupt or whatever.
Yeah. So President Barrow inherited these problems all throughout. I don't blame him for all this, honestly. It had a long time.
No, but he had a lot of goodwill from 2017
he planned it.
To change things around.
Yeah. He planned it. He should have taken advantage
he had a lot of
that.
goodwill.
Oh yes. I remember there was a lot of money pumped
A
into
lot of
agriculture.
goodwill. A lot of Gambia was a darling to the international community.
Yeah.
But many people said not much has been realized.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they should have concentrated on certain areas. Education. Also, there's one area that I really support the government. One time, I don't know this minister, but I had him talk, this Minister of Higher Education. Gomez. Oh, I truly appreciate his efforts.
Yeah, Professor Gomez.
Yeah, he's preparing the next generation of Gambians to be prepared for takeover. This step, they call it.
They have TVEDs. They have.
When I listen to them, I feel so good that something is coming very soon. If that phase out in the next 5 years or 10 years, we will have sufficient graduates not lawyers and so on.
Not just for offices.
No.
We should have technicians.
Exactly. I like
in various fields. That's the Tibet. Yes, the University of Science and Technology.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now the GTTI is going to.
I when I listen to him, I'm maybe someday I'll meet. I don't know him.
It's very easy to meet. Very down to earth.
I like when he spoke on the air, and then I said, look, this is the guy we needed in this place.
Exactly.
Apart from Badara, he's the guy. He's the right guy. Yeah.
He has always been an academic. He knows the.
I love his. He introduced this thing, and some people. If we prepare these kids from that time, from now to the next 5 years, certainly we will have a lot of technicians and graduates who are engineers, technicians, and so on. So we may not import, and what they need to do also, Lamin. Some of these jobs that they create, they give to experts. Why not create these, give Gambians here?
Gambians.
Yeah.
I see.
Gambians can do it. Manual jobs are difficult. Maybe they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But these experts, technical jobs, they can be given to certain Gambians to do that for us here.
Probably retired civil servants.
Exactly.
Still healthy.
That's why I said if PPP comes into power, we have prepared.
You have the expertise.
We have prepared so many good people. I don't know whether you had the name of Baksture.
Yes, I know
Baksture. You
had
this Mendes.
A think tank.
Oh my goodness! Wait until when people come to power.
But you are
very proud to have those.
You have technocrats. Who will help and bring.
Yes.
Now we still stay in Parliament. You heard about the budgets.
Yes.
The national budget was presented. And before it, you also had snippets of what was in the budget that's been discussed by by Parliament.
Yes.
You must have come across the fact that the minister said there is going to be a robust tax collection. He refused to say an expansion of tax, but he said there has to be robust tax collection methods have to be reinforced and intensified. So what do you make of that?
No, it's very bad. The country is a poor country. The income of the people. Where are the people who is going to tax? The people that I know in the street and in the offices. The people that are paid in salaries. And people who are in businesses. When you increase the businesses, that's going to increase the taxes on people.
Okay.
So it is not right now. It's not. This is not the right time to increase about 50% tax on Gambians. That's what I'm going to say. Because we already started with burden with taxes, and we cannot even afford food. Look at electricity. What they did last time, they said, okay, we are going to increase 35%. But from that time, no more problems. When they increased, at the time we had worse problems with electricity. So I don't think it was wise to increase the tax to 50%.
He said it's not increase, but to expand it to cover areas that the government believes, are not been covered. For example, now I hear the entertainment industry,
that's their fault.
Who are in fact very busy now. They will soon have a knock on their door from the taxman. Now, even entertainers, their promoters will have to pay tax or they will not perform. Tobacco levy has increased.
But that's
alcohol,
fine.
That's
fine. That's fine. I support that.
But then now they're saying that even the juice pressers in the streets and perhaps the small mobile merchandise sellers will all have to pay tax.
Well, what I do understand, those who were
In
not taxed.
In fact, they asked the GRA to collect $19 billion now, not 12.
From who? That's the problem.
From the Gambian and
so that's going to filter down to the ordinary people.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
In the end, there's going to be an uprising. Uprising in the sense that people will start to say no. And then you cannot have a fire and kerosene at one place.
Yes, they cannot stay in one place.
Now, if we increase the taxes and it affects the people, people will start to say no. They need to watch this very carefully. When I read it, 19 billion, I said, where are we going to get this thing?
Yeah.
If I understand that the contractors who come in and give them these lucrative contracts, they don't pay tax, they can go after those people. I understand.
I see.
But then the small man in the street? No.
To squeeze money from them. Whatever activity you do now, you have to be taxed.
No. Honestly, that's going to be a problem. Look at the rents in Serakunda now. In the urban area, the rents are not less than 5,000. And you want to add another burden on them. Food on them. School programs on them. It's a problem.
It's a problem.
I mean, they need to think about this. But what's going to happen eventually? People will start to say no. But luckily, President Adam Barrow may not contest election, so he's not going to finish.
So maybe he had said that my second term, I will govern as if I'm not interested in politics anymore.
Now you can see it now coming.
He said that.
Yep.
He has now. They're not taking on measures that you would have think that he would have been afraid of pre-2021. Like, for example, even this clearing of
the
road obstructions on the highway is a commendable idea, but it has raised a lot of controversy.
Yeah, but then this is where I have always said so. You have two difficult things coming up. The municipalities are governed by the opposition.
Yes.
And then you have the central government.
Yeah, in fact, that's another of our topics because I want your expertise on that.
Yeah, because if they were working together hand in hand, this should not have happened. Look at the small people in the streets. They take them out. These are the people who fed. My mother was selling the market, market for all these years. She paid my school fees, fed us from Serakunda market. But at that time, they were selling Serakunda market. Now, if these people who are selling the streets, the councils failed, not the president. They should have taken care of these people selling in the streets, put them somewhere, find them faults, but then they left them like that. So the president had to do his job.
The Caribbean Municipal Council had said they had created sports spaces for them.
Why couldn't they take them there?
Now I hear they have created 629 to take them there.
No, it's too late.
But then, like you said, the argument was, okay, why didn't you move us and you collect taxes from us? But the council said, well, we did not take you out. And we have to get tax from you if you use our space to sell.
No, the council...
So council is saying, now we did not knock you out. The central government who did that.
No, the councils failed in their duties. I was there from 1977.
But then there were issues also as people who have spaces but did not want to go to those places.
That's another problem. But then again, it should be the responsibility of the council to put them back to that place.
Force them to go. Yeah. Like, for example, in West Coast region, there's a whole modern market in Sukuta.
Yeah.
But nobody goes there.
Exactly. So whose fault? It's not the government, it's the councils. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the councils fail their own people. They fail their own people. They should have utilized that to make sure that the people are, even if it's limited spaces, they occupy those spaces. During our time, it was not as many people as now. But then we made sure that the people are in the markets. In the Serakunda street, you hardly find people selling in the streets. But they were there, but not many. But now in Serakunda, Brikama, all these urban settlements, council should have taken care of those people. President Barrow did a good job clearing the streets, and that I commend the government for doing that. Trust me.
So now there will be now an opportunity for vendors to go into some organized setup.
Yeah.
They will be forced now to go to markets.
Exactly.
If they refuse to go, they will now be forced to go there.
Exactly.
I see that in Brikama, the council chairman and his people are trying to create, an alternative vending place for the vendors who've been affected by the
That's good if they can find somewhere better where the people go. It's good for better than letting them in the streets, if they can do that.
But in your experience, like you said, everybody had thought that there would be an uneasy calm in terms of relations between the councils that are run by opposition, and all the urban ones are run by opposition, and the central government. There is this case about Brikama Area Council taking a resolution to suspend the CEO and his finance director, whom they have alleged, have embezzled a lot of money. The Local Service Commission now said, no, your resolutions now are not binding. You cannot sack these people.
Yeah.
So there is an impasse now, up to a point where the councillors or councils had to, so to speak, to stop the council attempt to stop the CEO from using their vehicle. All sort of things are happening. In your experience, and this happened in Carniving also, in your experience, is it that we have what we can call difficulty in political accommodation of
exactly. That's the right
border?
That is the political accommodation.
That's what is lacking.
That is the fact. Everybody wants to make sure that this is mine. The local government think they are government. They are not governments. No. The councils are not governments of the Gambia. They are municipalities of their own entity. The central government embodies all of them. So what happened there is a bad blood between the central government and the local councils. It's all politics. It's because
so who do you blame for this?
No, let them go by the book.
Well, they try to do that, but each one has a different interpretation of the books.
No, but then, okay.
That's where the problems.
No, okay. If the local government administration, if the council says this is what we know, first of all, I would not support the central government to appoint a CEO or they call
CEOs,
CEO.
finance directors, all appointed by.
I would not support that for the central government to appoint.
When you were chairman,
we appointed our own.
You appointed your own?
Yeah.
Your finance director and CEO?
I appointed, I remember Seluba.
Yes, Seluba in Basse was local government.
I was there, I was the chairman.
So this idea that...
I think it came after during Yaya's time.
Amendments.
Yes, exactly. What happened is they had to change this thing many times. But then I don't support the idea of central government imposing their people on the councils.
Yeah, that's one problem.
If they did not do that, this would not have happened. There should be a way of government overseeing the councils, not imposing people on them.
And that's my problem. Now, what people say, okay, we talk about President Barrow's tolerance, President Barrow's, nature of, tolerance. That's completely different from Jammeh's style, of course. Now, but people still find it difficult that he cannot conform to the realities. That, okay, look, as a statesman, because if you see, one philosopher told me that when you go for elections, the person who loses, people will say, sympathize with him instead. But he said that one is actually the winner. Because the one who wins the election now carries a burden that includes accommodating even the ones who are against it. So that's where
the challenge we have in this country.
Yes.
President Barrow was elected by Gambians. He is the elected chief executive of the country. We should all respect him, whether you are an opposition or you are an independent or whatever. We should give him his due respect as the president of the republic, whatever happens. Now, the challenge we have here is some other people. I remember Dabo was saying that they will give, there was a saying, he says that it'll give him hard time
Well, they said, someone can criticize that will make the country ungovernable.
Ungovernable.
But then, of course, he said if certain rights were denied.
No, but he had to qualify it by that.
Yes,
but don't worry.
Well, that's what they always said. They said he didn't say that in a vacuum.
No,
if certain rights were deprived.
Don't worry, you are talking to a politician.
But even that alone, you said, is trouble.
Exactly. That alone is trouble.
It's troublesome. Yeah.
What we should do, let us give credit to the president we elect. Whether you are an opposition or independent or whatever, when we elect a president or a leader, it's the leader at the time. President is the leader.
So if we give that due respect to the president, don't we expect the president also to respect the choice of the people at the local level?
But then the thing is, President Barrow also has to be very mindful of his utterances. When you go to a platform, when you speak to the Gambian people, you speak to all the people, whether it's an opposition or independent. There are certain words that you should not say. If you do that, you are creating misunderstanding between the two. Sometimes they provoke him, and then he would not.
And then he will come out. He will lose his cool.
Exactly, he'll fight back.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. But then I would not do that. I would, and Jawara would not.
Jawara would not.
Jawara would not. PPP. This is why we are different. I
say PPP.
I big Gambians will vote for PPP president. All this problem will not happen. Jawara, I remember Sidwidiwa would say Jawara Ngunja, something like that.
Yeah, he told them. No, he said Chalo.
Chalo, and then Jawara would say Ngunja.
Tell him Ngunja. And wherever he said. He would say,
he would not.
He would not even say.
No. People will not be angry. So we'll just go with that. But then we have a problem now. Some people don't respect the president as the president of the republic.
I see.
President Barrow also is, when you push him too hard, he speaks
loses
so hard.
cool.
Exactly. So this should be a balance. That's why when they said they want politicians, parties to sit down and talk, I don't understand that. I would not. PPP will not go there.
Every people think that is a
no, that's not the solution. The solution is between Dabo and Barrow.
That's the only problem. You think.
Okay. Let the two sit down and shake hands.
Finally, okay, we were talking about it, the local government. Like I told you, okay, why don't would the president also said, okay, we won 8. Rather, we contested 8. We won 4. The opposition won 4. Let's run our councils and leave them to run theirs.
Yeah, but then, even if they do that, they have to be on a government. That's the fact.
Yes.
How do they do
that?
Local
government will still.
But the thing is,
exercise. But like you said, they must not impose.
They should not impose their employees on the councils.
So what do you think should be the solution now?
The solution,
especially in Kanifing and Brikama, which is now, in fact, going to courts, a lot of confusion. What do you think should be the solution?
The solution, let the tempers go down, and then let them talk on it now. Make sure that this thing faces out. But the precedent has been set already, because there was a problem in KMC until the CEO had to be moved.
Yes.
Now the same scenario is coming
in
Brikama. So it started somewhere. That's why it has not stopped this thing. The government, the Ministry of Local Government, should not interfere too much on the affairs of the council.
So what do you make of on the same topic, finally, the appointment of executive coordinators? As you must have heard the president said, well, he said in one of his speeches, I think out of frustration, with the opposition councils, he said he's going to appoint governors. He said it before, but they came in another fashion now with a tag called executive coordinators.
Yeah,
lawyers and opposition and critics said, no, that's an interference. You cannot appoint such people into councils. What do you make of it?
No. I support the idea of appointing governors.
Oh yeah, even when you were in KM, there was no governor.
There was no governor. That was chairman.
Now mayor.
Yeah, exactly. Now mayor. I was chairman, and that was now mayor.
You think
But then I support the idea of the government having a governor in KM and Banjul.
Why?
Okay, they will be there to coordinate the affairs of the government, central government, in the local areas, in these municipalities. Basse, they have governor. West Coast, they have governor.
Yes.
What is wrong with KM and Banjul?
No, but the colony and the protectorate
No, but then
always had different.
We have to pass that. We have to be evolving as a country.
But
the governor represents the president and the government in this area. The councils, don't forget, the councils are local councils. They cannot represent the government here. The councils cannot represent the government here. That's the point.
Okay.
The councils represent the councils in their area. If, for example, I was let me give you a good example. I was a chairman of KMC. When President Jawara was coming here, I would be the first to be in the front. But at that time, we were in good time.
No, you belong to the same party.
In the same party.
That's where the problem now.
Now
There's a
that's the
different
problem.
party now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that's the thing, because they are not in the same party. Everybody's trying to whatever.
Do you think if there was an NPP chairman, rather mayor in Banjul and KM, Barrow would still find a need to appoint an executive coordinator?
No.
He wouldn't have that.
No.
So it's political.
It's political. It's simple. It's simple. It's all political.
Okay, so
Because I remember when President Barrow was coming into KM and Banjul, there was nobody to receive him.
yeah, because the mayor, they don't belong to the same political.
Exactly. So the mayor and Banjul and KM were not around to receive him.
So you mean they should have put politics aside.
Aside.
This is the president.
Exactly.
Let's go and receive him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember one time.
But that is because also maybe because the meetings are used to attack.
Yeah. No.
That makes it difficult. That makes both of them.
That is why there is need for a governor for KM
Okay.
and a governor for Banjul.
Good
For
point.
the interest of the central government,
I see.
not for the councils.
Good.
I support the idea of I don't know why they put this executive coordinator. I don't know what
they must be trying to run away from some legal things when they avoid governor. They said executive coordinator.
I don't understand that. I don't like that title. I don't know.
Maybe they are trying to avoid governor.
I don't understand that.
Mr. Jallow, we have to come back because, like I said, today we also have a big topic, that is the participation of Gambia in the Africa Cup of Nations. And the Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports, Bakari Baji, is standing by.
Okay.
And we have all sort of questions for him as to how our team will. You are a football fan, of course.
Okay, yeah.
So you will really be interested in how we participate in our second Cup of Nations in the Ivory Coast later in actually under a month's time. So thank you very much, Kebba Jallow, the interim leader of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, for coming on the brunch. We will get you back, I can promise you, very, very soon to exhaust this text.
Thank you so much. And then before I leave, I want to pray for the Scorpions and through the able minister and the government to make sure that we come with the trophy here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The brunch will be back with a topic on the Gambia's participation in the Africa Cup of Nations.